Right now, as you watch this, your body is doing something terrifying. Inside you, at this very moment, abnormal cells are forming, cells that have gone rogue, cells that, under the right conditions, could become cancer. This is not a scare tactic, this is biology. This is happening in your body today, tomorrow, and every single day for the rest of your life. But here is what nobody's telling you, hey. Your body already knows how to destroy those cells. It has a built-in, brilliantly designed system that hunts them down and kills them before they ever become a real threat. And after the age of 60, that system starts to slow down. Not because of bad luck, not because of genetics, but because of specific, fixable things you are doing or not doing every single day. Stay with me, because what you are about to learn in the next few minutes could genuinely be the most important thing you hear all year. Welcome. If you are a senior, if you are over 60, or if you love someone who is, this video is for you. We are going to talk about something that the mainstream medical conversation almost never touches. Not because it is secret, not because it is dangerous, but because it does not fit neatly into a prescription pad or a 15-minute doctor's appointment. What we are talking about today is your immune surveillance system, specifically a process called immunosurveillance, and why keeping it strong after 60 is one of the most powerful things you can do to protect yourself from cancer. Now, before we go further, I want to be clear. This is not medical advice. This is education. Always talk to your doctor about your personal health decisions. But I also want to be honest with you, am I? The things we are going to cover today are backed by decades of peer-reviewed science, and most seniors have simply never been told about them in plain language. So let us fix that right now. Your immune system is not just there to fight colds and infections. It is also your body's internal surveillance network for cancer. Every single day, normal cells in your body make copying errors. Some of those errors create what scientists call pre-cancerous or malignant cells. In a healthy, well-functioning immune system, specialized cells called natural killer cells, NK cells, and cytotoxic T lymphocytes patrol your body constantly. When they find an abnormal cell, they identify it, surround it, and destroy it. This process has been happening inside you your entire life. You have survived thousands of potential cancers already, and you did not even know it. Your immune system handled it silently, efficiently, without any fanfare. But here is the problem. As we age, a phenomenon called immunosenescence sets in. That is a scientific word for the gradual aging and weakening of the immune system. After 60, the thymus gland, which produces and trains T cells, your immune army, begins to shrink significantly. NK cell activity starts to decline. The speed and accuracy of your immune response slows down, and those pre-cancerous cells that used to get caught and eliminated immediately, they start to have a little more time, a little more room, a little more opportunity to grow, divide, and eventually become something serious. This is not a death sentence, this is a call to action. Because the research is extremely clear on this. The rate of immunosenescence is not fixed. It is not inevitable at the same pace for everyone. And the difference between seniors whose immune systems age quickly and those whose immune systems stay sharp and active for decades comes down to very specific lifestyle factors. Let us go through them one by one. The first and arguably most powerful factor is chronic inflammation. You have probably heard the phrase, inflammation is the root of all disease, and while that is an oversimplification, when it comes to cancer and immune function in seniors, it is closer to the truth than most people realize. As we age, many people develop something called inflammaging, a state of low-grade, chronic inflammation that silently runs in the background. This constant inflammatory environment does two devastating things. First, it exhausts your immune cells, keeping them perpetually busy, fighting a fire that never goes out, so they have fewer resources to patrol for cancer. Second, chronic inflammation actually creates a microenvironment in the body that cancer cells love. Tumours thrive in inflamed tissue. They use that inflammation as fuel and cover what drives inflammaging. Processed foods high in refined sugar and seed oils, a sedentary lifestyle, poor sleep, chronic stress, social isolation, carrying excess body fat, particularly around the abdomen. These are not just abstract health risks. Each one of them is directly feeding the fire of chronic inflammation and directly compromising your body's ability to catch and kill cancer cells. The good news is that inflammation is also one of the most responsive things to lifestyle changes. Studies have shown that dietary shifts, regular movement and stress reduction can meaningfully reduce inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein and interleukin-6 within weeks. Not years. Weeks. The second critical factor is sleep, and this one does not get nearly enough attention. Deep, restorative sleep is when your immune system does its most important work. During the deep stages of sleep, your body releases cytokines, signaling proteins that coordinate the immune response. NK cell activity surges during sleep. The brain clears metabolic waste through the glymphatic system. Growth hormone is released, which supports cellular repair throughout the body. When you consistently sleep less than 7 hours, or when your sleep quality is poor, broken sleep, light sleep, sleep apnea that goes untreated, your NK cell activity drops dramatically. One famous study showed that sleeping only 6 hours per night for 1 week reduced NK cell activity by over 70%. 70%. That is your cancer surveillance system running at less than a third of its capacity. For seniors, sleep problems are incredibly common. Pain, medications, anxiety, frequent urination at night, sleep apnea. All of these interrupt the deep sleep cycles your immune system depends on. Addressing sleep quality is not a luxury or a comfort issue. It is an immune issue. It is a cancer prevention issue. Talk to your doctor about getting a sleep study. Look into sleep hygiene strategies. Take this seriously. The third factor is movement, and I want to be precise here because the message is often oversimplified. We are not just talking about exercise for weight loss or cardiovascular health. We are talking about movement as a direct signal to your immune system. Physical activity mobilizes NK cells and cytotoxic T cells from the spleen and lymph nodes into the bloodstream. It increases the circulation of immune cells throughout the body, essentially sending more patrols out onto the streets. It reduces inflammatory markers. It supports the maintenance of muscle mass, which is critical for metabolic health and immune function in seniors. The research on this is compelling. Studies in older adults have consistently shown that those who engage in regular, moderate-intensity aerobic exercise, things like brisk walking, swimming, cycling, have significantly higher NK cell activity and better immune surveillance compared to sedentary peers. And the threshold is not extreme. We are talking about 150 minutes of moderate activity per week. That is roughly 22 minutes a day. A 30-minute walk 5 days a week is enough to meaningfully support your immune function at a cellular level. Resistance training matters too. Muscle tissue is metabolically active and produces myokines, compounds that have direct anti-inflammatory and immune-supporting effects. Seniors who maintain or build muscle mass through resistance exercise have measurably lower levels of inflammaging. If you are not doing some form of resistance training at least twice a week, you are missing one of the most powerful tools available to you. The fourth factor is nutrition, and while entire books have been written on this subject, the core principles for immune surveillance in seniors come down to a few key areas. First, eat to reduce inflammation. That means significantly reducing your intake of ultra-processed foods, refined sugar, industrial seed oils, and excess alcohol. All of these drive inflammation. All of them compromise immune function. Second, eat to support your gut microbiome, because roughly 70% of your immune system resides in and around your gut. The diversity and health of your gut bacteria directly influences how well your immune cells are trained and how effectively they function. Fiber-rich vegetables, fermented foods, and minimizing antibiotic overuse all support a healthy microbiome. Third, make sure you are getting enough protein, because seniors are chronically under-consuming protein, and this has enormous consequences for immune function. Immune cells, antibodies, T cells, NK cells, are made of protein. When you are not eating enough, your body prioritizes vital organ function and starts to deprioritize immune cell production and maintenance. Most health organizations recommend at least 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily for older adults, and many researchers focused on healthy aging suggest even higher amounts. And fourth, vitamin D. This one deserves its own video, but briefly, Weissendatzeri, vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It functions more like a hormone, and it directly regulates immune cell activity, including the behavior of NK cells and T cells. Vitamin D deficiency is extraordinarily common in seniors, particularly those who spend limited time outdoors, those with darker skin, and those living in northern climates. Studies have linked low vitamin D levels with reduced immunosurveillance and higher cancer risk. Get your levels tested. A simple blood test tells you where you stand. The fifth factor is stress and psychological well-being. And I want you to sit with this one for a moment because it is easy to dismiss. Chronic psychological stress, the kind that comes from loneliness, grief, financial anxiety, caregiver burden, or unresolved trauma, has a direct, measurable biological impact on immune function. The field of psychoneuroimmunology has documented this extensively. Stress hormones like cortisol suppress NK cell activity. Chronic loneliness, which is epidemic among seniors, is associated with immune aging that accelerates significantly. Connection matters, purpose matters, emotional safety matters. These are not soft feel-good ideas, they are immune medicine. Seniors who have strong social connections, who feel a sense of purpose, who engage in practices that regulate their nervous system. Whether that is meditation, prayer, time in nature, creative expression, or simply meaningful conversation, show measurably better immune function and lower inflammatory markers than those who are isolated and chronically stressed. If you are lonely, please reach out to family, to community, to a church or a club or a neighbor. Not just for your mental health, for your immune health, for your cancer surveillance system, because your body is listening to your emotional state every single hour of every single day. There is one more thing I want to address before we close, and it is the title of this video. Why do doctors not talk about this? I want to be fair here. Most doctors are exceptional, dedicated, hard-working people operating within a system that gives them very little time and very little training in lifestyle medicine. A 15-minute appointment focused on managing existing conditions does not leave much room for a deep conversation about immunosenescence and sleep quality and protein intake. That is a systemic problem, not a personal failure of your doctor. But it means that you have to be your own advocate. You have to walk into that appointment informed. You have to ask the questions. You have to prioritize prevention alongside treatment. The science is there, the tools are there, the knowledge is there. What has been missing is someone putting it together clearly and saying it directly to you. Your body grows cancer every day, and every day with the right inputs, it also destroys that cancer. Your job your most important health job right now is to keep that destruction system as strong and active as possible for as long as possible. So here is what I want you to do right now, not tomorrow, not after this video ends. Right now, take one of these 5 areas: inflammation, sleep, movement, nutrition, or stress, and identify the single biggest thing you could change or improve this week. Just one. Pick the lowest hanging fruit. Maybe it is going for a 20-minute walk tomorrow morning. Maybe it is calling a friend you have not spoken to in months. Maybe it is swapping out the processed snack in your pantry for something real. Maybe it is booking a doctor's appointment to get your vitamin D levels checked. Small, consistent actions compound over time in your biology just as powerfully as they do in finance. Your immune system responds to input. Give it better input. If this video gave you something valuable, please share it with someone over 60 who you care about. Hit the like button so that more people can find this information. Subscribe if you want more content like this: honest, evidence-based, practical health education for seniors and the people who love them. And leave a comment below telling me which of these 5 areas you are going to focus on first. I read every single comment, and I would love to hear from you. Your body is extraordinary. It has been fighting for you your entire life. The least you can do is fight back with it. Starting today.